This is the 5th year that I came to Australia. So where should I start? Let's go back to the very beginning. In 2017, I got my bachelor's degree. I said goodbye to all my friends in Beijing and hugged my parents in my hometown. Then I took a flight to a place that I'd never been before, Melbourne, Australia. It was like a mixed feeling, you know. You felt excited because you came to a new country where you can start over your life. But then you also have this nostalgic feeling that you wish you could be surrounded by your friends and families back in the old days. The first year in Melbourne, I was lonely, like literally. I have trouble adapting to the heavy study load, not to mention making any friends or joining any events. I was bored because I just traveled back and forth between home, the library, and the supermarket. At a time, I even doubted myself, what's the whole point of studying overseas? But things got better once I made some friends in summer. And I gradually got used to the life here. I went to explore some tourist places, and I started to feel that Melbourne was actually a lovely place. I even picked up my camera to record my daily life as a uni student. Once my English got better and I slowly grew my interest in academia, I knew that I would try applying for a PhD, but I wasn't confident in myself because I wasn't the top student in the class and everything just felt impossible. I thought going back to China might be easier, at least I'm more familiar with the language. That was the 2018 me thinking that I might leave Australia soon, so I wanted to travel. But what happened later was a turning point in my life. When traveling in Western Australia, I was involved in a car accident. I stayed in a hospital for 11 days and did multiple surgeries for my broken leg. It might sound terrible to experience all this when traveling in a foreign place, but I always feel that I was the lucky one because I didn't hurt my head or my arms. My dad said to me that when people experience life changes, their attitudes towards life will change. I didn't know what made me change, but I did know that no matter what happened, it's still good to be alive. I discharged from the hospital, came back to Melbourne, and started my last semester as a master's student with crutches. Time flies. My leg recovered and I graduated. In 2019, I thought I would head back to China. I even bought a flight ticket and packed everything. But you will never know that people always make life-changing decisions on a random, ordinary day. 2 weeks before I set off, I changed my mind. I wanted to give myself another chance to see if I were really into research. I enrolled in a course for doing a minor thesis, which is kind of like a requirement when applying for a PhD in Australia. That was probably the first time that I made a big decision for myself. And what happened next was 2020. Yeah, lots of alone time at home. Maybe I don't have a lot of strengths, but I got resilience. Lockdown life and living alone weren't big challenges for me. I went through it, submitted my thesis and got the offer and a scholarship for my PhD. It was like a dream to me, and another chapter of my life in Australia began. I finally felt that I could live an independent life. PhD life feels completely different from the time that I did my master's. Now I have a clear goal, which is working on my PhD thesis. And I also know that I want to gain various experiences during this journey. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with my life with this PhD, but if you ask me the same question that I asked myself 5 years ago, what's the whole point of studying overseas? I would say that it's about exploring the potential of the self, it's about fighting the light through the darkness, it's about living with braveness and resilience.
Let it go, let it go, paralyzed like the break of dawn. Let it go, let it go, that perfect girl is gone. Here I stand, in the light of day, and the soul rings on.
This is my story. What's your story?